Hello and welcome back. Today we are going to start working with Dockerfile. For this video, I prepared a small to-do list application to use it as an example. At the first part of the video, we will manually create a container that supports this application. During the process, we will identify the dependencies that need to be installed. Also, we will address the potential issues. In the second part of the video, we will gather all the information, all the knowledge we gain in the first part, and we will use them to build a comprehensive, optimized Docker file. Welcome back. So at the beginning of this video, let's take a quick look at the structure of our application. We have here request handler, and as the name said, this class is responsible of managing the request. For example, we have here handle post request, handle put request. The second file will be database, and also the name is clear. For example, here I'm going to establish the connection with the database. I have also functions to insert the data, fetch the data, and so on. The next file will be composer.json, and inside of it we have libraries, for example, Guzzle, Monologue. Then we have this folder public. Inside of it I have index.php, and this is the entry point of our application. I'm instantiating the database here, and as you see the variables I need. Next we'll move on to style. Here I'm putting the CSS. Also we have this folder logs, and inside of this folder I'm saving the logs. So at the beginning I'm going to create a network, and after that I will create two containers. In the first one I will run the server, and in the second one I will run the database, and I will link them using this network. And because I did those steps in the previous video, I will speed up the process. So if you feel yourself not comfortable, you can come back to the previous video and follow up with me. So now I'm creating the MariaDB container. I'm adding the network, the name of the container, and then I'm adding the volumes. After that, I will start with adding the port. As usual, default port 3306, and then I'm adding the variable, the root password 1234, and then the database name to do. After that, the user, my user, and now the password. At the end, I'm adding the name of the image, MariaDB. After that, I will run the container. And now let's open the browser. I will call localhost, and then I will choose the port, as usual 8090, and I got forbidden. So let's try to figure out why I'm getting this message. Back to the shell, and I need to start the container again, but this time in attach mode, so I can gain access to the log. Docker start, and my server -a, enter. Let me reload the page, and I got something. So cannot serve directory, this one here, and no matching directory index. The problem is the root directory of the Apache server is pointing to the wrong place. I want to keep this log, so I will open new tab using Ctrl-Shift-T. Let me zoom in, and let's get inside of the container. Docker exec for access -it, the name of the container, my server, and as usual bin bash. Enter. Let me list the content. ls. So the server is expecting to find the index.php file in this directory. But in my project, the index file is inside of the public. So ls -la and let's take public. So to fix the problem, we need to change the root directory of the server from var www.html to var www.html and public. Therefore, we need to modify the configuration. And because we are inside of the container, the best decision is to use text-based editor like Vim or Nano. Personally, I prefer to use Vim, and I'm going to install it using the following method: apt update and apt install vim -y. Enter. I will clear the page, and then we're gonna open the configuration file using vim, and let's specify the path. So atc apache 2, and now sites available. After that, I will open the relevant file 000 default.conf. In this file, I can modify the vhost configuration. So I will go down using J, and now to the end of the line using $, A to go into insert mode, and I will add the folder public. Now I will go back to normal mode using esc. After that, I will click Shift : to go into command mode. You see the cursor in the bottom of the page. I will add W for saving or write, and then Q for quit. Enter. I will need to restart the server now for the changes to take effect. So I will leave and Docker restart my server. Let's restart the browser. And we got something new. The error is normal because until now I didn't install the necessary packages. So let's come back to the shell. I will get inside again. Docker. Come back. To install the package, we first need to install Composer. I opened the website already, and then download. I will copy those 4 lines, come back to the shell, and run them, and we got the following file. Let me clear this one here, Composer PHAR. We need to make it globally. I will come back to the browser and documentation, introduction, and now here globally, and I will copy this command. Enter. Let's check if it's working. So Composer. Yep. Now let's see. We have Composer in the same directory, composer.json, the file I showed you at the beginning. We need to install the packages. So Composer install. Enter. Let me zoom out. Failed to download Symfony from destination. So the zip extension and or unzip commands are bus missing. So we need to install either dep extension or one of those package, unzip or 7z. Personally, I prefer to install unzip package. So I will clear and let's install an unzip package. apt install unzip. So one newly installed. Let's try to run the composer again. Composer install enter. Work perfectly. And now let's check the browser. I got new error. So the Steam or file database.log could not be opened, and it has to do with permissions. So let's fix it. I'm going to apply a quick fix, or let's say temporary solution, because we are going to discuss this topic with more information and with more details in the next section. So please just execute this command with me. chmod -r and then 777 point enter. Now let's check the browser. New error. Failed to connect to the database. Find driver. Could not find driver. And database line 30. So let's check the file. Database and line 30 should be here. So this is the line responsible of printing the message, and we are speaking here about the drive. So this is the only drive we are using, the PDU. We need to install the extension, the PDU extension, and Docker PHP image offer us a good solution. Let me go to the documentation. I will look for PHP Docker, and I will scroll down. There is a section called how to install more PHP extensions. And they said here, many extensions are already compiled. Worth it to check using php.m. Let's try it. php.m. Those are the available extension, and this is PDU, but it's not enough. We need also PDU MySQL. So we have here PDU SQLite, but we need PDU underscore MySQL. So let's come back to the browser, and they offer us another script helper, Docker PHP XT install. I will copy it, come back, and V enter. So those are the available options. We need PDU MySQL, this one here. Paste it, and let's try. Enter. Seems to be working. Libraries have been installed. Let's try to reload the page. I believe I need to restart the server. So Ctrl C and Docker, restart my server, enter. Let's check the browser. Seems to be there's something missing. So class Intel data formatter, and this error happened in var www.html request handler line 70. Let's check the editor and let's go to the request handler line 70. This one here, let me zoom in. So this is the relevant class, and if I hovered around it, I will get a message here, add ext Intel. So this is another extension called Intel, and we need to install it. So let me come back to the shell, and let's get inside of the container again. Clear. And let's see this one here. As usual, PHP -m, and those are the available extensions. Again, Intel is not available. Let's install it. V and Intel, enter. And there is an error here, missed packages. This one here, ISO UC. Let's try to look for them. I will copy the name of the package and I will search in the browser. Let's check the first result. Here, this one maybe. I will copy it, come back to the terminal or shell, paste, and I will install it. Okay, sorry, because we are inside of the container, there is no sudo. I will install it again. Yes. Our package was installed. Let's try to install Intel again. Docker PHP install enter. Seems to be working. I will speed up the process as installing will take some time. We finished, and now let's restart the container. Docker restart my server, enter. Let's check the browser. Voila, our application works. Or let's check if it's working. Play football. Let's add another one. Sleep. To-do list. Mark them as completed. Works well. Delete them. More than that, I'm not expecting. So, great. Our application works well. So what I want to do now is to try to automate the process. Take all those commands, all those instructions, and put them in one place. And I will achieve that using Dockerfile. I will come back now to the editor, and then to the root folder, and I will add a new file. I can use this template, but I will do it manually. So, Docker, file, and enter. Let me zoom in. I will start with adding the image. We're gonna rely on it. So, from, I will use the same image from the first section of the video. So, this image here. Let me copy the name with the tag. Paste it. I will zoom again. I will add now the work directory, even it's not necessary, but I'm going to show you the purposes of adding it. So walk dir, this one here. So this instruct will define the root directory of the container, the place where the commands will be proceed. And by default, it's going to be var www html. This instruct will define where I'm going to land if I executed bash, for example. Let me show you. Let's say Docker and execute as usual my server bin bash. So this is the work directory. So if I added something else, I'm going to land somewhere else. Let's come back to the editor. Another example would be executing Composer. If I haven't included, I would proceed with the following. Starting with run, and then I will go to the directory cd var www html and install Composer. Again, adding it means all the following instructions will be proceed from this path. The next step will be updating and installing the packages. So run apt update and -y. I added -y to prevent any prompts from disrupting the build. And now I will add the packages. So personally, I prefer to add them even it's not necessary. And then we have unzip. I remember we installed another package called ISO, but we don't need it as I'm going to follow another approach. The next stage will be modifying the configuration of the server by adding public to the root directory. So let's start here by creating new directory, Docker, and then Apache. Enter. What I'm going to do now is that I'm going to copy the file from the container and I will place it in this directory. So let's go to the shell. I don't know if your container is still running, but if not, please start the container my server from the previous section using the following command: docker start and then my server. Now let's copy the file, docker cp for copy. I will write the name of the container, my server, colon. I will specify the directory inside of the container. So etc slash apache 2, again sites available. So 000 dash defaults.conf. And now the local path, starting from the root, home. So my username, please make sure to use your username. And then the project, my second project, Docker Apache, and 000 dash default.conf. Enter. I will come back to the editor. And this is the file we need to modify. Please make sure to add public. I will come back to the Dockerfile. I will reverse the process and I will copy the file back into the container. So, copy. And when it came to Docker files, it's recommended to use relative path. So, point Docker and then Apache and the name of the file 000.default. Now the path inside of the container, starting from the root. Let me copy it from the shell. This one here. Copy and paste. The next step will be installing the extensions. And to install them, I will use the following tool. So, I opened the repository already, the tool called Docker PHP Extension Installer. This package will make my life easier. So, they said here clearly, if you want to install it, you can copy the script from the Docker image, either from GitHub container repository or from Docker Hub. It doesn't matter. So let's copy the first one. And I will paste it. And now let's figure out how can I use it. Very simple. So I can use it, for example, to install Composer. Everything you need to do is copy this command. So run and paste it. And now let's check the available extensions. If I scroll it down, those are all available extensions. So I will look for MySQL, PDO MySQL, this one here. Also Intel is available, so I will type it. I believe we finished here. So let's move on to build the custom image. I will navigate to the directory where the Docker file is inside. So cd in the root directory of my project, my second project. And now let's run the following command, docker build. I will add the following tag, -t. This tag will help me to specify the name of the newly image. Let's call it PHP custom image. And now I will add point because the Docker file is in the current directory. Enter. I made a mistake. I forget to add install. Let's come back to the Docker file. apt install. And this was horrible mistake. Let's try again. Enter. I believe this time should work. So I will speed up the process. We finished. Let me clear the page. And now let's create the container. So Docker create. I will come back in the history. This is the command I used at the beginning. Let's modify it. So instead of using my server, I will use my custom server. And instead of using the official PHP image, I will use my newly created image. It's called PHP custom image. There is only one version. So I believe this is everything. Enter. And now I need to replace the server. So let's check what is the running containers. Docker, PS. So I have one container, my server. I will shut it down. So Docker, stop my server. And now let's run Docker, start my custom server and Maria DB. Enter. And now I need to fix the permissions. If you are following up with me from the beginning, I don't believe you need to run this command, but still, in case, sudo chmod dash r 777 point. As I said, this is only a temporary solution. I'm going to cover this topic with more details in the next section. Enter. And now I need to install Composer, so let's get into the container. Execute -it my custom server bin bash and Composer install. Enter. I believe this is everything. Let's check the browser. As usual, localhost 8090. Enter. Works well. Let's try to add something. Play football. Enter. Make has completed. Deleted. Works well. If you learned something, then please give me a like, maybe subscribe, and see you in the next chapter. Peace.